What a lovely day. A lovely day. It's actually raining outside right now, so still, I guess you could say it's lovely.
It's lovely
right?
because it's warm.
Welcome to Sick Flicks. My name is Mike.
I'm Dalton.
And we're here to discuss a movie called Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes.
A couple of house cleaning things before we get going. Number one is you're going to be hearing this on a Wednesday. I think, right? On a Wednesday?
Monday.
On a Monday. I think I said Wednesday last week or last month.
Yeah.
It's on a Monday, and which is great. But we're going to take a little bit of a hiatus for the summer.
Yes.
So Sick Flicks, whether it's on Radio Western or on the streaming platforms, podcasts, all that stuff, we're gonna be taking a little bit of a summer hiatus.
Yes.
The plan is to be back in September. The idea with the show when Dalton and I first talked about it was to keep it limited. We don't want to just do this forever.
We wanted to do seasons.
So this is going to wrap up our season of Sick Flicks. And
technically, the next episode we do is, but on Radio Western.
Yes, on Radio Western.
This is the last episode on Radio Western you will hear until September, most likely.
That's right. Now we may pop in.
We may pop in.
Some
sick stuff might come out.
I mean, who knows? We may get some ideas to put out there in the universe, in podcast world or radio world.
Yeah,
but
we might have some other stuff going on.
Yeah, we might feel inspired.
Yeah,
one might say. However, the plan is to come back in September. Today's episode is going to be for the next hour or so. We're going to be talking about Mad Max Fury Road.
Also, if you do really miss us, we will still be on Radio Western on Tuesdays.
We will. Tuesdays at 6.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, Outside the Frame. Dalton and I are a part of that. And of course, you can always go back.
Yeah.
You can go back.
We
and
put
listen.
it on the internet.
We do. So you can go back and listen to our back catalog of episodes. There's Radio Western stuff on there. And there's our traditional, quote unquote, I say traditional, we've only been doing it for like 8 months, but traditional Sick Flicks episodes. As I said, today we're doing Mad Max on Wednesday, actual Wednesday. Not Wednesday, sorry. Thursday, jeez.
Nothing happens on a Wednesday,
Nothing
guys.
happens on a Wednesday.
Nothing happens on a Wednesday.
Except us recording on a Wednesday. But
yeah, we are. It is a Wednesday right now. We're recording.
On the Thursday, we'll be releasing the final double episode or double film episode, and it's going to be very special and awesome. So
yeah, I don't want to tell them. I don't want to tell them.
But just teasing it, because this is Monday. So on Thursday, go check that out.
Yes.
It's going to be. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that's how we're going to end with a bang. I'll just say that. And also, last thing, and before we get into the film itself, we've noticed a lot of people are listening in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Thank you to all our new listeners.
Thank you for listening and welcome. We basically just talk about movies and how sick they are, and sometimes
that's all we do.
And that's really all we do. There's not really. We don't have a.
One time we did things that aren't sick.
I was just gonna say it. For April Fool's Day, check that episode out on any streaming platform that you get your podcast. We did a quote unquote not sick episode where we talk about things that aren't sick, but typically our show is talking about sick movies and movies that we think are sick and the sick things about them. And and if you're new, thank you for listening, and hopefully you'll continue to do so, and we have some fun stuff planned in the future. But if you want to hear us on radio or again, the Outside the Frame stuff does go on streaming platforms too, so you can hear us babbling, you know.
Yeah, if you're not tired of us yet.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that takes care of all the things. So Mad Max Fury Road, is this movie sick?
It's about as sick as any contemporary movie can get.
It really is. It's funny because usually Dalton and I will discuss the double episode first as like what films to kind of pair with each other.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we'll be like, okay, what could we fit something in that, we just want to ramble on for an hour, on the radio, and maybe it fits in, maybe it doesn't. This was one where it was literally like, it was such a quick thought. We were just driving in the car and Dalton goes, do you want to just do Mad Max Fury Road? And I go, Oh yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's funny. We
Like,
should mention
absolutely.
we're notorious for saying a movie and then forgetting what movie we talked about.
Yeah. I try to write stuff down,
and then
but
we'll
sometimes
choose,
I
like,
don't.
But it's usually only for the radio episode.
Yes.
Because if we have a pairing, it's easier to remember.
It's easy. Yeah.
But a lot of times it'll be like, and it happened for this month as well, where we had named a few things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we decided on something.
Yeah, we had a locked thing, and neither of us could remember what it was.
No.
Because we're disorganized.
Yeah.
And then so you had recently watched it. I think Fury Road.
No, we were just talking about it on the way
We
to
were
like
just talking-
the Jays game, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Was it?
It was on the I think it was on the way
drive.
back.
On the way back,
when we were
yeah.
stuck in when
Traffic.
it took us an hour to get from Front Street to Spadina.
Yeah.
It was like 2 blocks.
Well, there was the Jays game was getting out, and then the Leafs game was getting in,
Yeah.
so it was just like gridlocked.
Yeah, it was bad.
And yeah, we're just. I mean, that's why this radio show and podcast exists, because literally a lot of times Dalton and I will just talk about what we think is sick in movies.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
So we do that when the mics are off.
Yeah,
dude.
we did that for so long. We decided, hey, we should make other people listen to us do this.
So we were just talking about. I can't remember what the segue was, but then you were like, "You want to just do Mad Max Fury Road?"
Yeah, I don't remember how it came.
It was like not even a thought. I was just like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, absolutely." I actually hadn't seen it in a little while. But man, like popping this on. First of all, we just got to say, before we get into some of the story stuff and et cetera, I watched this on Blu-ray. I know there's a 4K, right? But the Blu-ray, I'm sure the 4K is no different, but like the Blu-ray just this movie looks so good.
It really does.
It looks incredible. It is, right from the opening shot to the closing shot. Like, I love the color. I know that was a big thing when the movie came out. People were talking about like the color palette and how
saturated it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
But honestly, like that's one thing that really hit me watching this was just like right from that opening scene, the blues, the yellows, the oranges, like, even things like that are almost absence of color, like gray, like, the spray paint thing, whatever that is, the silver. It just pops so hard.
Absolutely.
The black, what they're like Charlize,
the
like
oil.
smeared, the oil being smeared, like all of the colors just pop so hard. And so I just wanted to mention, definitely, like, if you haven't seen this movie, definitely go and see the movie.
Yeah.
Go see it.
If you haven't
out.
seen any of the other Mad Maxes, it does not matter.
It doesn't matter. That's a good thing to bring up. Obviously, the Mad Max saga. There's a bunch of movies all made by
5 now.
5 now. Yeah. All made by George Miller,
Yeah.
right? Australian filmmaker.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, and we kind of talked about this after we decided to do the film on this episode, but the first film is not anything like if you're expecting Fury Road or Furiosa. It's not that. It's actually like it's an independent film. Obviously, Mel Gibson is famously starring in the films as Mad Max, and it just feels like it's really a filmmaker getting his feet wet and trying out a bunch of stuff. It's still pretty cool, and it really is
But if you
awesome
watch Fury Road and then watch Mad Max, you're like, this is the most boring movie anyone's ever made.
Now, I will say, I think both of us really like Road Warrior.
Road Warrior is pretty awesome. That's when he kicks off the boots for a minute.
That's right. And I'm blanking on the title.
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Tina Turner, right?
Yeah. Thunderdome's dumb, but
I have a soft spot for it.
But no, it is fun.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit
good
I guess.
soundtrack.
Yeah, and it is quote unquote dumb.
Yeah.
But fun dumb.
Yeah. I mean, they're all kind of dumb, but
yeah, they are. But that one in particular is pretty out there.
Yeah.
Then our friend George Miller one of the weirdest IMDb.
Oh yeah, Happy Feet.
He does
Babe,
Pig
in the City.
Pig in the City.
Yeah.
And
both good movies though.
Totally, but very different.
They're not Mad Max.
And for me, I don't know if you remember when this movie came out, but I kind of felt like it just came out of nowhere.
Fury Road?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what it felt like.
You know what I'll say, though?
Yeah.
2015 was kind of the I wouldn't say necessarily like the very beginning, but it was kind of the apex of the legacy sequel happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get Jurassic World, you get this, Force Awakens, even the Fast and Furious movies go like, even though it's a continuation, it still feels like that.
Well, you have a couple of other titles that are gonna come in the next four years, 5 years with Exorcist. Like they're going to the well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I vividly remember this movie coming out because I didn't care at all. And I think
I didn't either.
And I think a lot of people didn't care because we were starting to get inundated with these legacy sequels, and most of them were not good. A lot of them were rehashes of the original film. Mind you, this came out before Jurassic World and Force Awakens.
Yep.
This was early. This was like May, I think.
Yep.
And then those other ones were, well, one was summer, one was December. But you were starting to get that feeling because you saw the trailer. Everything was this. And then building up to this film being released, when people started to see it, when there was critics,
dude, it was like a snowball, dude.
I remember for about a week before it came out, it was IMDb's #1 movie of all time.
Yeah,
highest rate because, and then Rotten Tomatoes, same thing.
Yeah,
it was just blowing. So everyone who was in like the film scene was kind of looking at each other like,
what?
This might be. And I just want to say for when I saw this film, you might remember the Thursday screenings were not really a thing. The occasional movie had it.
Yeah. It was really for like, because this is really the climax of like, we're building up to the climax of Marvel and like that whole thing.
Exactly.
So every film that they're releasing is making $1 billion.
And when they had those Thursday shows, they were late shows. They were like 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Yeah.
I remember that I was in high school. It's my final year of high school. I finished class. I had a spare period, last period. And I decided, I'm done. I'm going to go to the movies. And I saw Fury Road was listed at like, it was like 4 o'clock on a Thursday, right? Which I had never seen before. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go and see that. So I drove over to the Cineplex.
See what's up.
Right? And I sit down and, no joke, about 5 minutes later, my mom and her sister walk into the theater. And my sister, not her sister. Walk into the theater. And, like, those two do not go to the movies.
Right.
Okay? Why are they at the first preview show of Mad Max Fury Road?
Yeah.
Right? I don't get. So,
yep.
And then we do, like, the Spider-Man meme where we're, like, pointing at each other. So they decide to come sit next to me. Like, neither of us had any idea the other one was going to see the movie. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends. And I'm sitting there like, stunned. And the guy behind me, like, who I don't know, leans up to me. He goes, "Was that not the greatest movie you've ever?" And I just went, "Yeah, dude."
Yeah. Yeah.
And my mom was like, more like, she didn't want to drive home, she felt like, but
yeah.
No, it was such a. So it's so nice when you go to the movies like that, just on a whim.
Low to no expectation.
Yeah, because even the trailer, like, in hindsight, is awesome.
Yeah.
But when it came out, it did not sell me.
No.
And I think a lot of people, because it had the sandstorm in the trailer, was like a big part of it. And I was like, it doesn't look very, but in the movie, it works perfectly.
Well, and I think, like, for me, I wasn't, similar to you, I wasn't, this kind of came out of nowhere, surprise to me. I wasn't like so pumped to go see the new Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
For me, I was part of the snowball. Like, people just kept talking about it. I saw it right before I went to camp that year. So I think I don't know. I can't remember when it came out in May, but
it was like.
But it was usually I go up.
I think it was late May.
Right. So I think it was right before I went up to camp, and I think, like, well, what I remember is the online discourse.
Yeah.
So like a bunch of people that I respect or whatever had seen it, and and there was so much written about it. Oh, you like, and there
Everyone
all
was
this
talking about like it was
discourse.
the greatest.
It was
thing.
like the great, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll go see the Mad Max movie. Like, holy,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. Like, I was just like blown away by it. And you know, a couple of things that I think is important to mention. Number one is like, yes, it's part of, I guess, IP but there's no, it's not, as far as I know, it's not like based on anything, right? Like
Mad Max?
Mad Max.
No, it's his,
it's his story, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's not like it wasn't like a series where it was like someone started it and then George Miller like picked it up or whatever.
No.
It's like that's
and
that's
it's
his
also
thing,
like I said,
you know.
every one of them you don't have to have seen the other ones.
Right. So what I'm saying is that aside from it being part of the Mad Max universe, if you want to call it that, it is an original story.
Yeah.
And it's made by a guy who was what, like 70 something?
Yeah, early 70s.
And you're like, okay, it has Charlize Theron, but like she's one arm and like oil all over her face. Like, what's going on there? Tom Hardy is got the jacket on. He's not really saying much.
He's not. Yeah.
Like what? Like
he's
what's
replacing Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Which
Like
is
what? Like what's happening here?
Yeah.
You know. But for me, it was the opening scene.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the opening scene, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna buckle right up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is, you could just feel it. You know.
Dude, the black on the screen, the credits and the voices.
Yeah.
And you're like, I already feel something building. Here.
This movie made $380 million worldwide, which again, like in context, it's not a Marvel movie. This is coming out in the like heat of all the Marvel stuff.
That
you know
year,
what I mean?
Everything did well at the box office.
Right.
Yeah.
So $154 million domestic, which is pretty incredible. But I think what's almost more incredible and what people don't necessarily talk about is the awards side of things.
Oh my god.
So
it realistically, because of how well it did, I think it should have won Best Picture.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was the best movie of the year.
So that movie, Mad Max Fury Road was nominated for Best Picture, which it did not win. Achievement in Directing, which it did not win. Cinematography, which it did not win.
Mm-hmm.
It won,
which is a crazy
nuts.
one to lose. What won?
I'm on a different page.
Sure.
I'd have to look.
Sure.
It up.
While you're reading that off, I'll find out.
It won for film editing.
Yeah, which is like, what else could ever win that award? Yeah.
It won for costume design. It won for makeup and hairstyling. It won for best achievement in sound, in sound mixing. Which I mean, the sound is next level on this movie.
The Revenant won cinematography.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that.
Yeah, no.
That's a bit of a whoopsie there.
It's hot versus cold.
Yeah. It was nominated for visual effects, which it did not win, and then it won for production design. So it won 6 Oscars.
Yeah.
A Mad Max movie won 6 Oscars.
Because it won them like almost all in a row.
Yeah.
It felt like it was sweeping the awards. It was like, and Mad Max Fury Road, and it just kept winning.
Yeah.
And that's why halfway through I'm like, it should win Best Picture. Like, it feels like it's on that trajectory.
It was just something that I guess at the time, what I remember is just something that I just felt really excited about, that I was like, oh, this is why I love movies. You know?
Absolutely.
And
when's the last time a movie made you feel like that? Or since? Nothing.
No, the substance.
Substance. It's a different feeling, though.
Yeah, but I just mean like.
I mean, like when you are sitting in your yeah.
I mean that what I equate that to is like seeing that movie and just being excited about movies,
gotcha.
And being like that was so much fun to watch. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen next. Right, this is something that's a little.
That's
different.
a fun one with a crowd.
It's unbelievable, and I mean, obviously, I was at not obviously, I guess, but I was there for the premiere, at TIFF, which is again Midnight Madness, and it was director was there, Quali was there, Demi Moore was there, like there is an energy, but here's the thing, I mean, I'm sure you've been to them too, where there's either a movie premiere or a movie, you're going to the first night of a movie or whatever, and there's excitement, and then within 20 minutes, people are not excited, and you can feel it.
I've definitely,
you can feel it in the room, right? Whereas Substance, or this is another, people were just excited,
and you can feel them getting
that
more
was so fun,
more stoked as the movie goes.
And what I think, we'll dive a little deeper into the makeup and what makes this movie so interesting and fun and all that kind of stuff maybe in the second half. But I will say, I think one of the things, aside from the color, which is spectacular on a big screen, and the sound, which is unbelievable, is I guess, at least to me, is the simplicity of the story. It's very easy to understand, and mixed with what feels like unrelenting action.
Yeah,
like when people say, "Oh, like this is." This never stops or whatever. Yeah. It always stops, dude. Yeah. And I'm not saying that Mad Max's Fury Road is like like it never stops.
No, it has it's like the movie feels like 3 scenes.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's like 3 action scenes.
And there are there quote unquote quieter moments.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is that even in the quieter moments, like there's either danger right around the corner,
like the crows,
or exactly.
Yeah.
There's something happening, or they stop something's wrong with the gas thing, but then someone shows up and they have to get away, and all of a sudden it's like even though it's not a full on chase,
they cannot rest.
They can't,
and
rest.
We as the audience get maybe 2 minutes to rest.
Right, and then you're just on to the next, and it just feels like there's this this energy that's pushing the movie.
Yeah.
And what's great is that once it's pushed to what you think is the end or what their goal is, they have to then turn around and do it all again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They never catch a break.
Which is fantastic. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's so smart. And I just love that. I love the fact that the story is simple, and not that you need, you can dive into it so that it's more complicated if you want to get into the nitty gritty of the different side, how the world is made up and who's this and what they're doing there and blah, blah, blah. But essentially it's there's a villain. He's a bad guy, wants to control everything, uses water to do it.
Yeah.
The end.
That's it.
The end.
Yep.
That's what he wants, and the heroes, and what's great is the heroes, both Charlize and Matt and Hardy, Mad Max, they're I guess Charlize is definitely more of a she's not looking at herself necessarily as a hero. It's just more so I need to get out and save these people.
Yeah.
Whereas Mad Max is kind of more of a reluctant hero, which is kind of fun.
He's almost because in all the Mad Max movies, he doesn't really
want, and he doesn't really want the gig.
Yeah, he's just kind of he is a vessel to tell the stories.
Yes,
rather than a character who's going to save the day.
Well, he says it, right? I'm built to survive. That's my only. There's a line.
Single instinct.
Yeah. Single instinct is to survive, right?
So Charlize Furiosa is like you said, she's also a reluctant hero. But she is the hero of the movie.
But she's the hero. And she has it's not about I'm doing this.
Her,
I'm doing this because I want to be the hero. It's no, it's almost out of necessity. I want to get back to I was ripped from my home. I want to get back there, and
it's really
I'm taking
interesting.
these people with me, right?
Kind of before we got a couple minutes here.
Yeah.
Because you have not seen Furiosa.
No, I'm scared too.
And I have not. And and I have.
Yeah.
But it's interesting the way I view her story after having seen Furiosa,
right,
and the way you see it without having seen
it,
which is you're in the boat that I was in for 10 years,
yes,
right, where you saw and you just have this idea of Furiosa, and then when Miller decides to because that is a scare, and I get why you're scared because it's.
I said it because we were talking in a group chat with Brian,
our
good friend Brian, who also has a podcast, and you've been a guest on the podcast and stuff like that. But I said I'm scared, and then you started making fun of me. I said I'm just being vulnerable, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's just I'm scared to watch it because I really do love this movie so much.
It makes sense because this.
I don't want it to be ruined. I'm not saying it's bad, by the way.
No.
I'm just
She's such a good character.
Yeah.
That you're entirely in the right of being I don't want you to touch that.
But I have heard from people like yourself that. You really like Furiosa.
Yeah. It's quite different.
But it's different,
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
I think people were expecting
Yeah, if
Fury
you're
Road.
expecting Fury Road, you're not gonna love it. But it's like if you just go in and go like the way you saw Fury Road, where you're like, all right, whatever,
Yes.
you know, and then it's awesome.
And then it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I think obviously this came after we went over the award success. I would say a pretty big box office success too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
For again a non superhero.
It got my mom out to the theater.
Yeah. This is not a Caped Avenger, a story in 2015, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for it to make that, like, you knew that it was coming down the pipe at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Furiosa was going to happen. But
It was what? It was 10 years?
What?
9 years? 10 years before Furiosa came out?
Yeah, almost 10 years.
Yeah.
But you also had pandemic in there, and like obviously that's going to affect.
Still, I mean, like Fury Road, he was working on that since the 80s.
Right.
So Furiosa's a pretty good turnaround time.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, we might touch that after the break too, but like the production of Fury Road is. I mean, I wouldn't say it's on par with, like, say, Apocalypse Now, but it's definitely like...
Yeah, it's not like Fitzcarraldo or something, yeah.
But I would say...
But it's grueling.
There's been some stories, and it was not I mean, the actors, everyone that has come out of that movie, and there's stories you can read about it. I believe there's a book about it.
Yeah.
It was not like... Hey everybody, let's just throw up a camera and see what happens in the desert. It was a
really long shoot,
extremely long shoot, and
Nairobi.
Right. Well, you're dealing with the heat, the weather, and then
all the practical effects.
And then you have to do all the practical stuff, all the costumes, the blood,
you're in the desert and there's so much fire.
And so much sand.
So everything's hot all the time.
Hot all the time. Then it's not like that giant truck is like a CG truck.
No.
Like they have to get in and drive the truck.
Through the sand.
Through the sand. And then it's like, oh, what's chasing you? Oh, 40 vehicles are chasing
motorcycles,
you?
Dune buggies.
Dune buggies. Yeah. All of them have their own, wherever they go, they each have their own, sect, I guess. Each has their own look and what they're you have your motorcycle guys and you have your whatever Joe is doing, whatever his deal is, and
he's
there's
got
all
a
those,
monster truck kind of thing
exactly, and it's all these different, and all those have to be
I like
created
the random
and,
Russians.
Yeah.
The Russians.
Yeah.
The buzzards.
And
their cars look so cool with the spikes.
And the crows, all this stuff, even the boys that hang around Joe's
the War Boys?
The War Boys, dude. All of that is hours of makeup. All to do and they said they might get one shot or two shots in a full day, and it's they're shooting these long,
which is crazy when you think about how many shots this movie has.
And the amount of
every second is 3 shots.
and then you have these extended chase scenes, and
could you imagine
crazy,
if
it really is.
I'm George
so
Miller,
impressive.
You're the editor.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're sitting at the you got hired on to a big Hollywood movie, and
so
I bring
excited.
you this.
Pumped. Yeah.
I bring you this and I lay it out and I say, okay, edit this. You're quitting, It's his wife that edited it, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's the only way you could do it.
Yeah,
no one else would do that
else.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I have 2,000 hard drives that are
full.
100 terabytes of footage, and we'll have to sort
and they'll have
through
to be
them.
in a very specific order and timed to perfection.
Yeah. And even the color corrector as well,
This movie seems like a nightmare to me.
But that's what is so impressive. It's such an impressive feat of filmmaking, especially this is a young man's game.
Yeah.
This kind of movie. This isn't people sitting around a table, discussing a relationship, or something like that. This is out on the boot. You're in the trenches, right? You're on the ground and you're filmmaking. You're filmmaking.
Absolutely.
We got a bunch more to discuss about what's sick about this movie, so we're gonna discuss more after the break, because we do have to take a quick break for some ads. So that's what's coming up here.
Some ads for Aquacola.
Speaking of ads, Tubi sponsor us. Just saying.
Please. Next season, Tubi is
presented by
hopefully #1 sponsor.
Anyways, we'll see you after the break.
Sick.
Welcome back to Sick Flicks. We're talking about Mad Max, Mad Max Fury Road, to be more specific. And as we stated at the beginning of this episode, it's going to be our last one on Radio Western for a little bit. We're going to take a little hiatus, so hopefully we can end with a bang here, right, Dalton? And
Absolutely.
end with a very sick movie.
Yes.
I mean, as you stated, I think one of the sicker modern day films of the last 10 plus years.
Yeah, hard to think of many things that compare.
I mean, this one's definitely up there. You know what I was thinking when I watched this film for this episode was I might, like, if I had to redo my top 10 of the last 25, this might sneak.
It should be on there.
This might sneak on there.
Yeah.
You know, like there's been some obviously incredible movies in the last 25 years. I stand by my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But really after watching it, I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Not a lot compares to it.
It's so sick. In terms of like, if we want to, I don't know, pick out one or two scenes, like what to you is like stands out as like just being like all time sick, you know, next level. Because really, we could go without being facetious, hyperbolic.
Every moment of this movie,
every cut or every scene, but we're not going to do that. But what kind of stands out for you as being, you know, extremely sick?
I mean, I'm going to give a big shout out to the dialogue.
Sure.
The things they say in this movie are so cool. Like, it's funny because a few years ago, I remember I read the script, and it's kind of like, reading it on paper sounds really stupid.
Really dumb. Almost like a Star Wars thing.
Yeah. You're like,
this is not.
Yeah, this is not written. And then you hear people deliver those lines. You're like, that's the coolest thing anyone's ever said. For me, it's the moment that I was completely pulled into the movie. The moment that, like, not that the opening scene or when he's captured and they're doing all the flash. Not that didn't have me.
Yeah.
But when she turns left, you know, and then every
you see the telescope, the weird
yeah.
I don't know, creature. I don't know what you want to call him.
And then
Daddy.
Yes. They set off the smoke signals.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that chase starts, once it's on,
yeah.
And because I think that's if I'm not mistaken, that's the buzzards, is that moment, because they go first and then the other people show up and they think that they're helping them get the buzzards off their back.
Yeah.
And then they realize that it's still.
Yes.
And then that whole sequence leads into the sandstorm.
Into the sandstorm. What's crazy about that, right? Because I agree, like that's definitely like when things like kick off, like into next gear. What is so incredible is, again, this is just maybe something it took me a couple watches to realize, but on this watch is that doesn't happen too far into the movie.
No.
But at that time, you understand what everything is.
You get everything.
You know who the villain is.
Yeah.
You know how important water is. You know
his prized breeders are missing.
That's right. You know
who Furiosa is.
That's right, and why she's doing what she's doing.
Yeah, you know the War Boys.
You know Max, and all the pieces are there within.
You know which one's his car, that they've taken his car.
That's right.
You know why he's strapped to the front of the car.
Yep.
Everything.
And I mean, what is that? That's maybe 15 minutes?
I would say less.
Yeah. And you get and because what's so, I mean, that's just really smart visual filmmaking, but by doing that, that's how you can have this propulsion of the movie just being like just being so forward and pushing because you doesn't have to stop and explain everything.
Yeah.
It's already been done in a pretty exciting fashion, by the way.
Absolutely.
Up until that point. Mm-hmm. So when she veers left, you're like, okay, you know, and then there's some cutbacks and stuff, but really, like, he set up everything that you need to know to be invested in the next hour and 40 minutes, right? And which leads me to the runtime. Runtime is almost 2 hours, like bang on.
Yeah.
And it's not a minute too long, and it's not a minute too short.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. It doesn't feel like the movie feels like it
Like you went on a journey.
Went on a journey, but also that it took like 20 minutes because so much is happening. But you almost feel like tired at the end because you're just like, whoa, like that was a ride, an actual ride that I went on. You know, so yeah, I think that's a great moment to point to is the first is like when she turns left. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah,
I would also like it's the other moment is there's a song on the like. Because the score for this movie is unbelievable. Junkie XL. I remember when it came out, I listened to that soundtrack so many times, and there's a track called "Brothers in Arms," and it's when the motorcycles are jumping over the car.
I love that. I love that.
And they're passing guns back and forth and shooting the motorcycle jump. Like that climax of music, visuals, storytelling is brilliant. There's a big one that we haven't said yet.
Right. So just before we hit that one, I will say that whole sequence again. There's a little bit of a break because there's some dialogue where Charlize says, like it's like doubling down on all the stakes, right?
Yeah.
So first off, you have Joe and the army and everyone coming after them, right? Because they're traitors.
Yeah.
Okay, and taking the prize breeders. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the big. We'll call that like the big bad, right?
Yeah.
And that's the big force that's like after them. When she gets into that, you know you're in dangerous territory. She sets up the fact that she has passage, that she set up passage, right?
Yeah.
But she's supposed to be alone. This raises the stakes even more because now they have to hide.
I count 3 war parties.
Yeah. Then it was the fact that there's way more people after them. So she obviously wasn't 100% truthful, right?
Yeah.
When things kick off there, like in that just like as things sort of lead up until the motorcycle thing, now you are in a place where they have your big bad, but then you have the initial like people that are trying to kill them.
The immediate threat.
So again, this is all happening like one after another, and just in terms of story and the way that you're raising stakes and all this kind of stuff, like it's just brilliant because it's like, okay, it's not just the like, oh, there's like the villain that's after them. It's like, well, no, it's not just the villain that's after them. There's like everybody's after
everybody,
them, you know, and there's the immediate threat. There's like, okay, if we stop them, then like, you know, it's
a completely hostile environment.
Yes.
Everywhere they go, they are in danger.
Okay, so I guess what I'm assuming that you're, because this is one that I was going to bring up, is obviously the guitar guy.
Yeah, the Doof Warrior, that's his name.
The Doof Warrior. Yeah. Okay, now, I don't know if I've ever been...
I wanted to stand up and clap in the theater, dude.
Dude, there's a guy playing a giant guitar that's a flamethrower on the front of like a giant transport truck or whatever that thing is.
Yeah, in the middle of a battle in the middle desert.
And it was like, it's like, you know what I thought of, maybe I don't think it was this time, it was last time. It's like, you know, the old school, 1812 battles where they had the little drummers.
That's
and
exactly what it is.
That's what it is, right?
That's exactly what it is.
But it's just so sick.
It's just heavy metal.
Yeah, and it's like that's that guy's only job.
The pan over to, because like the guitar is so heavy in that scene, and then when you realize that it's like diegetic, or non-diegetic, non-diegetic. It's in the movie.
It's in the movies. Is diegetic.
We're idiots. Whatever it is, it's that one.
It's that one.
But when it's in the, like, when you actually see that there's just some guy playing guitar in the middle of this, you're immediately like, oh, that's sick. And then his guitar shoots like the biggest flame you've ever seen, and you're just like, this is the greatest moment of my life.
Because you like that transition and that thing, like you're like, oh, it's not just on the soundtrack. Like this is like getting them into war mode.
He doubles down.
Yeah.
Later on in the movie, when they're fighting in front of that guy. And they knock the guitar out of his hand, and he's just like swinging back and forth, and then he catches the guitar and seamlessly goes into a lick. It's like the coolest. It's so awesome.
So awesome, dude. Yeah, that's a big one. And again, when just coming from like, we're talking about like story stakes and all that kind of stuff, but it's like how do you take something that's so exciting and make it more exciting? You know?
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean,
that way.
I sent it to you and Brian in that chat because you guys were talking about other thing, and I was actively watching Fury Road.
Yeah.
And you guys were having a conversation. I just kept messaging like, dude, how awesome is Fury Road? Look at this. And I would just send pictures and videos of me watching Fury Road. But he does another moment where you're like, this is the most awesome thing is when it first cuts to the war party heading out.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, hook up Max to the thing. And then it's just hard cut. Profile of all the cars going by,
dude.
All of them shooting flames. And you're like, this guy is just on one. Like he is
on.
And that's like, this is just the start, you know?
It really is incredible. And it's very, very sick. I mean, I will say too, like, I think maybe we're cynics in some way or because both of us, like some, I would say, outsider type films, and there's a lot of filmmakers that we enjoy.
Just wait until next episode.
Yeah, just wait till next episode. That maybe don't end their movies in a happy way or with a happy ending, or it could be a little cliche
I love
and
a
cheesy.
happy ending though. I will say.
Here's the thing, dude. Like, what happens in this movie?
It's a happy ending,
right?
Well, happy-ish.
Yeah, but like. They get back to where they need to go, right?
Yeah.
And the big bad is defeated,
I mean, like they're all like
like almost dead,
beat. Just.
But all I'm saying is that I wanted to point out that you can have a happy ending without it being like stupid, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the way, like, it didn't need to be like nihilistic and like the
there
world
was enough
is,
of that in that movie.
Yeah, there was, because like nothing is really all that great, like everything's kind of bad, for everybody, and I just think, like, I don't know. I just appreciated it ending the way that it ended, I guess. Yeah. Which is another reason why I will tell you, I almost flicked it on. I almost said, you know what, let me just go right into Furiosa.
Yeah.
But it's another reason why I'm scared, just because I like
Furiosa works better if you, as soon as it ends, start Fury Road.
Oh, like, okay, I see. Yeah.
Like, I like that. Yeah. I like watching it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Any other like sick, quote unquote, scenes or moments that you wanted to like point out?
I mean, there's plenty.
Yeah.
I think when we kind of mentioned it a little bit in one of the, let's call it a lull.
Sure.
When it decides to slow. So just after the sandstorm, okay, when it's Max, it's Furiosa, it's Nicholas Hoult.
Yep.
What's his name?
Something boy.
No, he's got it. Anyway, Nux. Yeah. When it's all of them and the women in the desert there, he does this like really interesting thing where, when we see them and they cut off the chastity belts and he slows it down. Like he literally shoots it in slow motion.
Yep.
And then one of, like, I don't know, you probably picked this up, but I don't know if many people do. There's a quick action scene, obviously, with him and Furiosa fighting over the gun.
Yep.
Do you notice that he speeds up the
Well, he does that a few times in this movie.
Yeah, but
so
I mean specifically in this moment where he goes so slow, and
So
then as
slow.
soon as
And
it
then-
gets violent,
yeah.
he goes to a higher frame rate. Like
Yes.
It's when he shoots the gun around her head,
Yep,
it's
yep.
like...
It's quick.
Yeah, and I was like...
The frame rate, yeah.
He knows exactly what he's doing on every level of this movie.
I thought about that in the opening as well. Like, there's a bunch of moments in the opening where he's playing around with frame rates, and I always think it's cool. Actually, in one of those, I think it's just after that, there's this great moment, and what I think it's really funny that they chose to do it this way, where Mad Max goes off away from them, and he's like, "I'll take care of it" or whatever, because there's I don't know, there's something happening.
Oh, when
there.
he comes back and
you see an explosion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then he comes back and he looks all bloody.
Yeah.
And he has like just this giant thing of
Yeah.
like guns, right?
Yeah, are you okay? You're bleeding.
Yeah, and then Furiosa goes, "It's not his blood." You're like, "What happened over
Yeah,
there, dude?"
yeah.
There's a giant explosion. You're coming back with giant bags of guns. Like what?
George Miller was like, "You guys could, after all I've shown you, you still couldn't handle this carnage."
Yeah.
You know?
But I just think that's first of all, it's a kind of a funny moment the way that it's shot but also it kind of gets to the mystery of Max's character as well, but also like kind of elevates him as to like, who is this guy? You know, it's that thing.
Yeah.
And so I just think that's a smart thing to do.
In that same scene, there's we'll call this the crow sequence when it's all blue, when everything's blue. The blue scene. The blue scene.
Yeah.
The bullet farm leader.
Yes.
Who goes blind. And then he rides as like fast as he can. He's shooting blindly, literally blindly into the day. And then Ride of the Valkyries is blasting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like, it could be the most cheesy moment, you know?
Yes.
And it's still the sickest thing I've ever, like every 2 minutes, not even every 20 seconds is the next sickest thing I've ever seen in this movie.
Yeah, it really is. Do you have any, like, weirdly, this movie like has some kind of standout lines in this movie?
There's a ton.
Yeah.
There's a ton. I was
but like, do you have any that are that you like
I quote a few.
standouts?
I quote a few of them.
What's
My
that?
favorite to do is mediocre.
Mediocre.
When they yell that. Witness me.
Witness
obviously.
me, of course. What a lovely day.
What a lovely day.
I like that.
You know what's funny is it sits in my head, and like every time I watch the movie, I can like recite it perfect. Like, is the very beginning
the monologue? Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And again, on paper, it sounds pretty stupid.
It's kind of stupid, a little cheesy.
But it's like the delivery and the way the camera's working, the setting up of this world.
That opening shot too is just like
perfect.
So good. I don't know. For me, I definitely what's he goes. I live, I die, I live again. Yeah. I always like that one.
I like. I had a baby brother.
Yeah,
he was perfect. Perfect in every way.
Perfect in every way.
There's so many lines in this movie. When he goes like, it's Morton Joe's way of saying things. Yeah, is so good. Like,
I love his old getup too, with like
the breather,
and the thing, the weird kind of. He has
the
to
chest plate.
The chest plate, but he has to give himself like a 6-pack to be like, hey, I'm still buff, but he's like,
and he's got like medals on it.
Yeah, he's got medals on. But he's kind of just falling apart. Like, but he looks like a bad guy though, like a really good villain, you know?
Yeah, when he's like, one bullet for Furiosa, the way he says that, and or like his. I will carry you into Valhalla, shiny and chrome, you know?
Yeah.
Everything like I still can't get over the first. I want to put this in. We've already mentioned the line.
Yeah.
But I want to put it as a contender for sickest scene. Is when the war boy gets shot in the face with the arrow.
Yes.
And he's just like, the silver spray, whatever it is, spraying it in his mouth. And then everyone notices, and they're all like, "Witness!" And then he jumps, like, and then again slows it down.
Yep.
And then speeds it up as soon as he hits it. But like the sheer amount of people throwing stuff and the explosions on that one car, and then everyone going mediocre. It's like an all-time moment for me. Because I love in that moment they make it sound like mediocre is like ironic and that it's awesome. Yeah. But then later on when Nux falls, and Morton Joe goes mediocre. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe they just thought it wasn't sick enough, you know.
Well, it could be like a double meaning, like how we say, "Oh, that's sick, dude," or like, let's say you tripped and fall, and be like, "Dude, that was pretty sick the way you fell," like sarcastic,
or
right?
like gnarly.
No, gnarly,
But it cracks me up every time. Our friend Rain, who also works at Highland Cinema, I was texting them while I was watching it too, and they love Mad Max Fury Road. They're telling me that their parents weren't stoked on it when they saw it in theaters, and they said it sucked. So then I sent them a picture of Morton Joe just saying mediocre. It's like, this is literally your parents walking out of that movie.
It's a good meme.
It is a good meme.
Good meme. Mediocre.
No,
that's dude. Yeah, man, that's awesome. I think those are a couple of my favorite lines too. Like I really dig like what a lovely day. Like, and anything that like Holt is doing. Like I mean, he just has like this.
I like Larry and Barry.
He has like this weird hold on like whatever like modern day cuck is.
Yeah.
Like he's always just cucking it up, you know?
Yeah.
I
know exactly.
Can we say that on the radio?
Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out, I guess. It's not the swear word, right? It's not a swear
word. No. I'm sure you can say
I'm
it.
sorry. I didn't even.
We probably just don't want to say it a lot. You know? That's probably the...
Hey, we haven't said shit, so there you go. We can say that once or twice or something.
There's a couple.
Yeah. Trying to get our
But no,
quota
absolutely.
in.
He's great at a certain type of character.
A certain type of character. But this is like kind of cool because what's interesting is that they're almost like stormtroopers or whatever. They're lemmings, you know?
They're expendables.
Whereas like you kind of end up caring about him. He
has like a love story in the movie.
He has a love story.
It's like really touching.
It is. And I think, again, just visual filmmaking, visual storytelling, you know, it's so great how Miller just weaves that story in there, you know, as not, oh, this isn't plot A, but it's like plot C or something, you know, and it makes you care about the voyage, like the transport that and everything that's happening because you care about the people on board, and so I just wanted to mention that I think that's the I Live I Die I Live Again I think is sick, and mediocre is awesome. I mean, dude, this movie, there's so many.
I resist.
Isn't it odd? Like this movie again isn't that old, and it does have like this weird it's weirdly quotable.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like
I think it's funny because when I'm watching this movie, I resist the urge to like text my friends like every line from the movie because like I'm always like, this is so awesome. Yeah, I'm so guilty of that when I'm watching something I enjoy. I know you get it more. You get it a lot. But like
I do it to you too.
Yeah, I've had friends who just text you like, "Oh, Dalton's watching Fury Road again. I can tell," and it's like,
yeah, dude, I wanted to watch something sick, dude. I wanted to rip something tonight, and you know that's what was on the docket, you know.
Yeah, but I will say like this movie was quotable in 2015.
Absolutely, it
like,
was.
I remember everyone was saying like, "Witness me," you know.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really funny. Like of all the quotes, like that's the one that
I know
that they do. I was a big fan of this movie right from the jump.
Yep.
And I'm really glad that it's a movie that I hasn't been killed for me by watching it so much.
No, I'm in the same boat.
And there's a reason I don't watch it. That I watched it a lot in like 2015, 2016, around that era. Especially because like that was right when I started film school. That movie's hard to ignore when you're in that mindset.
Yeah, absolutely.
But over the years, I'll watch it maybe once a year.
Okay.
Maybe. Like, maybe not. Maybe a little bit longer. But every time I do, it's a treat.
Yes.
You know, it's one where you're just like, you'll never be disappointed. Where you're like, I just need a...
No, you're never gonna
I need
be
a sure thing tonight.
A sure thing and a shot of adrenaline. Like,
yeah.
Where
you're like, I need some real movie making here, you know? I need cinema. I need 20 cc's of cinema right into the vein.
Yeah,
this movie
this
delivers.
This absolutely delivers.
Any final thoughts here, Mike, from you?
Honestly, dude, I think it's a perfect way to end sort of season 1 because you know, we've done a few different things on the Radio Western episodes where, you know, we've kind of used it as a little bit of a platform, I guess, to highlight maybe some underseen or not as well known maybe action flicks.
Yeah.
For example, Hard Rain.
Ricochet.
No, that
wasn't Radio Western. Apologies.
No, that wasn't a Radio Western episode. But Hard Rain being one of them. Yeah. And I think that with this, and they all kind of stem from this this DNA of sort of action and set pieces and
because it's sick.
Because it's sick.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I do think that this movie has a lot to like in conversation with those like action movies that we love from the 80s and 90s, and it just takes it to, in my opinion, takes it to another level. I will never forget. I think I may have mentioned it on our episode about Natural Born Killers, but one of the reasons why I stayed away from Natural Born Killers, aside from that I wasn't allowed to watch it, was there was a movie called Speed that came out. Okay?
Yeah.
And when Speed came out, it was marketed in a similar way to Fury Road, in the sense of this is a nonstop action flick, right? And that was a movie I was allowed to see, and I did see many times, rented it many times, and I loved that movie. And I remember there was the video box. I think it was the video box of Natural Born Killers, or it could have been a poster. I don't remember. But it was in the video shop that said Natural Born Killers. It makes Speed look like a slow walk to grandma's house.
Yeah.
And I was like, how dare you call out like my favorite action movie, you know, Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, all this stuff, right? But why I say that is because like Speed was like that. That's one of those movies that was marketed that way, right? Where it was just like a nonstop thrill ride, right? And there is that kind of DNA in this movie. I just think, in my opinion, everything, whether it's, as you mentioned, the dialogue, I think performances, color, the way it's shot, the action set pieces, everything is like taken to the highest level.
Absolutely.
And I truly think it's one of the best action movies to come out, not just in the last 10 years, but ever.
And I would agree with you.
Like, if you don't put this in a top 5 list of the best action films that have ever been made, then you're not making your list is wrong.
Yeah.
It truly, like, without irony, without like all it recency bias, all of that shit. There's just, this movie is just top tier filmmaking, top tier action filmmaking. And it was just again, just same as you, in the sense of like a joy to just put on and just rip, you know. It just from
it's like cracking a cold one.
It
just hits the spot.
It just hits, you know, after a long winter, it's 28 degrees out. And you get a cold one. There really isn't anything. And you know what's awesome?
This movie, watching it in the summer, feels way better than watching it in the winter.
Feels way better. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I really love that this popped into your head and said, "Hey, we should do this," because I really think it's kind of
it belongs on this show.
It does. It belongs on the show, but also, like I said, I think it's a great ender to our first season, because it's just, you know, it's taken a bunch of the things that we've talked about on this show with action films. And then we've talked a lot, whether it's on the double episodes or on Radio Western, but we've done action movies, you know, Demolition Man, we've done, Hard Rain, we've done Starship Troopers, like all of these, you know,
Point Break
is another great one. Passenger 57.
Yeah.
All of these type of films are these action movies that have these set pieces and stuff like that, and
very propellant kind of movies.
That's
propulsive movies.
That's right. And like I said, I think this just does it at just all the everything at
the highest caliber,
the highest level. And it's a great way to end our first season on Sick Flicks on Radio Western. As we mentioned at the top of this episode, there will be our classic Sick Flicks double episode coming out on Thursday. Of this
not
week.
Wednesday. Thursday.
I did say Wednesday. We record on Wednesdays. Radio Western episodes come out on Mondays. We drop the double episode on podcasts on Thursdays. Yes. So, you know, there's a lot going on. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of days in a week.
A lot of days in a week, and you know, so we get them mixed up. But like I said, this will air on a Monday, and then you can listen to all the things on our streaming services. You can go back on streaming services wherever you get your podcasts. You can go back, listen to our catalog.
Yeah.
You can follow us on Instagram. Send us messages if you want.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you.
We'd love to hear from you. We see the numbers, and it's awesome to see that it is growing in a way, and that's really exciting. But
So
send us a message. Send us a message. Say hey, what's up? What's the adage on or the on
at sickflixpod.
At sickflixpod on Instagram. So you can find us there.
And just one final message to you guys. Thank you again so much for listening to this first season of Sick Flicks.
Yeah, dude.
It has those who have reached out. It's been great hearing from you.
Unbelievable.
It's really funny when we don't realize the things that you guys love. It's really entertaining for us. So please keep listening. Listen again. Let us know if you checked out a movie that has been on the show.
Yeah, dude.
What you think. We just love to hear from you guys. So thanks again.
Yeah. So that'll be it for us. We'll see you back here on Radio Western 94.9 in September. That will be Sick Flicks form. Yes. If you want to hear Dalton and I ramble on about movies with a couple other awesome people, you can listen every Tuesday at 6 p.m. With Outside the Frame. And like I said, you check out Sick Flicks on all streaming wherever you get your streaming podcasts from. So check us out anywhere and on Instagram. We want to grow a little bit on Instagram, so maybe check us out there. Help us out. So that'll be it for us. I've been Mike.
I've been Dalton,
and we'll see you guys in September.